Hello, hello, hello. Hi there. Hello, everybody. So today we're finally gonna pump out that Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn tier list. Uh, you might have seen it already. I've already done a Path of Radiance one. This one is for, well, Radiant Dawn. So the Path of Radiance one, I was mainly going off of like knowledge that I have about Path of Radiance and, you know, my actual playing of the game, my experiences with it. And I was trying to avoid using knowledge and experiences from Radiant Dawn. And so today, I'm going to be using mainly my Radiant Dawn experience. I might allow some Path of Radiance experience to bleed into it a little bit, but, you know, it's gonna mostly just be the Radiant Dawn stuff. So yeah, I guess, yeah, okay, we'll go ahead and get started. So the first character that we have here on this list is Aaron. Aaron, I didn't really use Aaron. I unfortunately mainly kind of used him as a meat shield during the great massacre of the swamp lagoons. It was a pain. It was a pain. But yeah, I mean, in general, it wasn't that bad though. He well, I say it wasn't that bad. It was pretty bad. I lost like 4 people. Aaron, he was alright. I didn't really use him. I've heard he can be good, but I didn't really use him. But when I did, he was alright and he could hold his own a little. I don't really have much to say about him. Unfortunately, I don't think very much of him because just I didn't really use him and I didn't look at sports or anything very much. I thought it was interesting that he had a relationship with, or, you know, some kind of friendship with Laura. But I didn't really see much with that, so... Aaron, I'm sorry. C tier. I don't like doing that, but it is what it is. Ooh, Astrid. Okay, so I actually got to use Astrid more in this playthrough. Actually had her live. She was not very good. As a unit, she wasn't very good. I'm still a fan of her design. I think I prefer Path of Radiance design a little bit more. And while I like her character, they did sort of unfortunately make her a huge Makalov defender, which I don't see why she would defend him necessarily, but she thought very highly of him, and that sort of rubbed me a little bit the wrong way. And I don't think that's necessarily her fault. I think that's the fault of the writers. Because I don't know if there was ever a proper reason explained. Or anything like that, so I don't know. But I'm just gonna have to put her in B, I think. Yeah. Bastion, once again, didn't really use him much either, but he was pretty good. It feels like, I think it feels like they like toned down on his whole bravado sort of deal. His whole like certain manner of speech and things like that. They definitely toned down a bit. His character was still nice, still fun. I very much so still like him a bit. He was a mage, which, thing about Radiant Dawn, mages were not very good, but he was probably one of the better mages. He was probably like in the top 3 of the mages in this game. So yeah, he was good when he was introduced. I think his role was cool because he went from like, you know, obviously just like I don't want to say retainer, but, you know, an ally of Valencia, and then, you know, close ally, and then coming into Radiant Dawn, he has like this higher up position, and it's really interesting to see. It's really cool because it shows that he's not just like a goofy character. He is his own person, and he does things. He's got impressive feats, so I like that. Yeah. So a part of me wants to put him in A, but I think I'll just put him in B. And I think I'll put him above Astrid. Oh boy. Okay. The Black Knight. The Black Knight's pretty cool. Very neat. Very neat. He was extremely powerful. I don't know if he could have died. But he was very fun when he came around. He did eat up a lot of XP, but that's whatever. That doesn't really matter that much. I mean, yeah, character's pretty cool. It's cool how he defended Micaiah at the start, and his eventual, reveal. It's like, oh, he's Zelgius. That was cool. Unfortunately, that had been spoiled for me. Long before I played the game, but still, it's very cool that it happened. I was very intrigued by it, and learning that I believe it said he was branded or something like that, which was really interesting. And seeing his interactions with different people, even his interactions like as Zelgius, because the Black Knight as a whole, including the Zelgius part, he definitely had some. He had a really interesting sort of character, sort of personality, because like the things he stood by, the people he cared about, and all that. He was not a bad person by any means. He was just sort of following his principles, doing what he thought was sort of just and right, and yeah, I overall liked him a lot. A really dynamic villain. It's very interesting. He's both a villain and a playable character, so it's really cool. And I really like the way that they used him in this. Very cool. So, gosh, I think I might. I'm gonna put him into A tier. Yeah, I think that's fair. He's great. All right, Boyd. Once more, I didn't really get too much time with Boyd. I did use him a fair bit, but eventually it got to a point where he was kind of just filling up a slot that could have been used for someone else. So I started putting him away after a while. The main reason I kept him out was because of his supports with Mia. So yeah, he didn't. He was stronger for sure than in Path of Radiance, but he wasn't super crazy. He helped out sometimes, but he wasn't, he wasn't crazy. I didn't invest in him a lot, to be fair. Maybe if I did, he could have turned out better, but, it is what it is. I think I'm willing to put him in B, but probably. I'll put him below Astrid for now, I think. Braum. Oh my goodness gracious, golly gee. So Braum, oh man, I'm so happy with Braum and Nephene and all that. So Braum, Path of Radiance, he's just a dude, he's a family man, he's a southerner, he's a worker, he's a countryman. Maybe not southerner, but he's a countryman, he's country folk. He lives his life and all that. He's just a dude. He's just a simple man. And into Radiant Dawn, they gave him a little bit more of a role at the start of part 2, I believe. And sort of introducing him and Nephene as now being these really close allies who would do almost anything for each other. That was so cool. And I really liked the dynamic there. I loved Braum's relationships with just like everyone, because he's like the kindest dude, and he's not necessarily like the smartest in the world, but he's not dumb by any means. And he's just great. He's just great. And also I like his design. I don't know what it is. I like it a lot. So, oh gosh, part of me really wants to put him in S. Part of me really wants to put him in S. I'll put him in A for now. It's a hard one. I'll put him below Black Knight for now, but I'll get back to that later. Kennegus, King Kennegus. He was okay. Sort of going from his role in Path of Radiance as, you know, King of Beasts, sort of maintaining that, and then, or I guess King of Lions, and then bring that into Radiant Dawn, but with more of an active role in some very specific moments, which wasn't very much, but he did show up every now and then. And towards the end is really where he started to, you know, become playable and become like super usable and all that, which was cool. I think using him was very fun. He was very strong, very strong. Yeah, and it's clear that he is not in the slightest a bad person. He in fact is very noble and very generous, all things considered. So yeah, I appreciate that. I like that. Yeah. So I don't really have too much to say, but I will put him. I'll put him at top of B for now. Top of B for now. I might get back. Oh boy. Oh no, I'm blanking on her name. I'm blanking on her name. What is her name? Right, so Khalil. Okay, so Khalil, she is alright. They sort of showed her dynamic with Largo a little bit more, and showed that, you know, well, she is like a business person kind of, and she's a, you know, sort of studious mage and all that. You do sort of see, how do I put it? I suppose you see a little bit more of her, in terms of like personal aspects. So she, because, you know, in Path of Radiance she kind of came out of nowhere, but in Radiant Dawn, well, I guess carrying over to Radiant Dawn, because she came out of nowhere before, her being involved in the story, now she has a bigger role just because she was in the previous game. So she was an alright mage, probably the best one I had for a while, and yeah, that was alright. She was alright as a combat unit. In terms of character, I liked her relationship with Largo and her daughter Amy. That was very cool. I like that they showed that, and I find it kind of interesting how Largo and Largo and Khalil were trying to raise Amy as if they just naturally had her as a child. That's interesting as to why they would do that, but who knows? Anyway, you know, I think she's neat. I don't have super crazy strong feelings towards her, but in general, you know, I don't really have any problems. So I'm gonna put her in B. I'll put her, I think, I don't feel good about this. I'll put her above Astrid for now. Okay, next is Devdon. He's one of the two at that point. Donved, yes. I don't know. He didn't really have much to his character. There just wasn't much there. From what I recall, so I don't really have too much to say about him. He was a decent unit. But yeah, I mean, he was a good dodge tank and all that, but really I don't have much to say about him. I'll put him like above Boyd just because he's a little funny, I guess. Yeah, not much to say. Ooh, Ed. Okay, Edward. Edward unfortunately did not make it very far. He did not make it very far in my playthrough of Radiant Dawn, and that is okay. He seemed alright. I've heard he can become really good, but I didn't really get to use him for very long. Uh, as a character, I didn't really see too much about him. He was kind of just like the supportive, like, I don't want to say right-hand man, but uh, you know, he's like one of the closer people in the army to like the leader, and it's like, oh, you know, I'll support you, Micaiah, like blah, wherever you go, blah blah blah. Sure, there's more to him. I didn't see too much. Design's neat. I'll put him. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know where to put him. I guess I'll put him. I guess I'll put him below Boyd. I don't know. It's a tough one. Okay. Next is Alencia. You all should know my feelings about Alencia. I like her a lot. She's great. Emissary of peace. Just wants people to be happy. And even when like multiple peoples were conflicting, like multiple lands, she, as much as she wanted to like do things to intervene, and even when, you know, people were like, no, you cannot intervene, this will go poorly if you do, she still to an extent did. And then the bad guys betrayed her, and she was defended, and she was shown as a person who very much so just wants people to live in peace, very much just wants people to be happy, and, you know, just kind of cares about everyone, like in her kingdom and outside of her kingdom too. And even as a queen, she's very much so generally respectful of like everyone. So yeah, I still like her a lot. I don't know if I want to put her in S though. Tell you what, I'll put her in S for now. I still like her a bit. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, next up, Ina. Good old Ina. I like Ina. She's neat. Her character is neat. So back in Path of Radiance, you know, she had her whole deal with her, I believe, fiance? Her lover, I believe. Something along those lines. Which sort of left some marks in Radiant Dawn. And seeing the way she interacted with some of the people and how she chose to fight alongside Ike and company despite, you know, certain factors sort of weighing against that, I thought that was neat. And in general, I like her. Her design is still good. No complaints. I think I'm willing to put her... Ooh, she's also a tough one. I don't know. I could see her going like anywhere. So anywhere in A or B. So I think I'm willing to put her above Bastion. Yeah, put her above Bastion for now. Okay, next up is Fiona. I don't have much to say about Fiona because I didn't really get too much out of her. I really wanted to use her. It just didn't work out. She was an unfortunate victim of the Swamp Massacre. And, you know, it kind of just is what it is. She died with Aaron, I believe. I like her, though. I like her design a fair bit. It really does sort of stick out amongst the sort of waves of units that you get. Yeah. Character-wise, I don't remember too much. What I do remember is, you know, at some point she was kind of on the bad side. Well, quote-unquote bad side, you know, our enemy side. I believe. And then she just sort of was like, hey, no, wait. We don't need to kill these people. Like, there's no reason to. Yeah, no, she was alright. I'm gonna put her in B, probably. Because I still like her. Even if I didn't get to use her as much as I would have liked. I think design bumps her up a bit. put her above Khalil for now. Ooh boy, Gareth? Garrett? Gareth. Gareth. What do I have to say about Gareth? Not much. Not much. Gareth was kind of just thrown in there. You don't really see much about his character. I don't even really remember much about him. I imagine he was probably the strong dude, just like that was his character, but I don't remember, really. Didn't really do much. Just kind of there. I mean, he helped out a bit, obviously. Like, in certain, like, in like, 1 or 2 chapters before he died, he did help out a bit. His design is neat. I do like the reds. I like the warmish colors, like the sort of rustic colors almost. I think it's neat. I can't put him very high, unfortunately. Part of me wants to put him in C, which I think is fair. I'm gonna put him bottom of C. I like his design, but it's not enough to sort of bring him through, unfortunately. Alright, Gotrie. Gotrie. I still don't know how to properly pronounce it, so I'm just gonna say Gotrie. Gotrie, very cool. His character doesn't change too much from Path of Radiance. He's still, you know, a nice dude. He's bulky, he's strong. I mean, there's not really too much to say. His design's like a tiny bit different. I don't fully remember, but I don't really have too much to say about him. He's definitely going to go in B. He was a huge unit for me, I will say. He did come in handy a lot. He was very bulky, able to take down a ton of enemies very easily on his own. So I really do appreciate that, because he was a really good wall. So I'm willing to put him pretty high for that, actually. I'll put him above Ina. Because although I don't really although I don't really know as much about his character, or I don't really prefer it as much, just him coming in clutch so much, or rather his like really strong aspects as a unit, that I think that alone kind of carries him up a bit. Alright, Joffrey. Joffrey's neat. Like his relationships with Lucia and I was about to say the completely wrong name. With Lucia and Alencia. Very nice, very cool. Those trio, they have a lot of good stuff going on. Because I believe that they're all technically siblings. And yeah. I don't know. Don't have too much to say about him. His character was neat. He was sort of the lead man for some chapters, so that was cool. He was pretty strong. His mobility was great. I think he was almost one of my first big promotions, but I got him to like level 20, but then I didn't promote him because I don't think I had enough stuff for it, or I didn't want to use all my XP on him. Yeah, overall, pretty good. Great unit. No real complaints. He did help out a lot. I think I don't know if I'm willing to put him into A, though. I'm willing to put him in a B for sure. You know what? There, I'll put him next to Bastion. Alright, next to Bastion. Yes. Alright, next. Ooh boy. Good old Gifka. So, I don't have too much to say about Gifka. I didn't really use him very much. He was just kind of there. He was cool though. I don't really know too much about his character. All I know is that he's kind of just King Kanagus's right-hand man. Not too much to say beyond that. So, yeah. I don't have too much to say. I don't think he's worthy of... Not worthy. I don't think he's like... I don't think he can... Maybe he goes in C tier. I don't like the idea of putting him in C tier, but he also doesn't quite fit in B tier. So I'm gonna throw him into C tier. Yeah, I'll put him at top of C though. I'll put him at top of C. I don't dislike him. Put him at top of C. Har is a monster in Radiant Dawn. I didn't really get to use him in Path of Radiance, but Radiant Dawn, I used him so much. He was so good. He was so strong. He was like nigh impossible to kill. Like it was ridiculous. He was so good. He destroyed everything. Also, his character's fun. I like his interactions with Marcia and all that. Interactions with Jill. Very cool. Very nice. Well, actually, I don't even know if we really got to see his interactions with Jill, but you know, his former interactions with Jill were neat. And so seeing him in this game now, and apparently he's got like a postal service or whatever, which is interesting, or delivery service. Yeah, overall, I like him a lot. With how good he was, he basically carried me through like a lot of the game. That alone kind of bumps him up really high. Part of me really wants to put him in S tier. I don't know if I can, but I'm very tempted. I might even put him above Black Knight. I'll put him above Braum for now. Har was so good. Heather. Good old Heather. I didn't really use her too much, but I like her design. I think her character's neat. She's a lesbian, which is very, very cool. I didn't realize that Fire Emblem had like any like confirmed like LGBT characters. That was very cool. I liked her interactions with Nefene. I think her interaction with Nefene and sort of thinking about that immediately I think as time went on, that sort of made me appreciate her a little more, even if it was only like 1 or 2 interactions. I don't know. I don't know. The thought of Nefene and Heather interacting a lot is very, I don't know. It's very, very nice in my mind. Very pleasant, very cute. Also, tons of people have done fan art of the two of them, and it's great. You know, in general though, I like Heather. She's not bad at all. I'm sure if I used her more and invested more into her, she could have been great, but I didn't. But no, I have no complaints about her really. I'm gonna put her like pretty high up in B, I think. I'm gonna put her like, I'm gonna put her there. I think below Bastion, above Fiona. All right. Ike, the bike. Okay, Ike. Great. He was, well, you know how he was in Path of Radiance. He was a dude. He's just trying to live his life, and he continues that in Radiant Dawn. He's just a dude trying to live his life, and it just, you know, he doesn't want to be here, but he is. He's just doing kind of what he has to. I still very much so like his personality. I have like no real complaints about him. The glow up was insane. I do like his design in Radiant Dawn, and gosh, he was really good. I think he was maybe a little bit better towards the Path of Radiance, but in Radiant Dawn he was still great. He was fantastic. I think I'll put him top of B. Like, I don't know if I quite want to put him in A, but he's very, very much so cool. I like him a lot. He hasn't really changed too much, but he's definitely matured, and you can tell in ways. You know, besides appearance. Okay. Ilyana. Oh, poor Ilyana. I believe she was the second death of the playthrough. She was great in Path of Radiance. I didn't get to use her as much as I would have liked in Radiant Dawn, but she was still decent. It's unfortunate that I guess Shade got nerfed or something in Radiant Dawn, so she didn't really get as much screen time as I would have liked. But I still like her a lot. I think would have tried to pair up with Mia, but I didn't really get that chance, so yeah. But that's okay. I still like her a bit. She's probably gonna go into B. I don't know where though. I think I'm willing to put her above Heather. I don't know. I like Ileana a lot. I just I guess I'm willing to put her there. Eliana's an interesting one. I think she belongs somewhere in like high to mid B. I don't know. Once again, another tough one. Yennefer. Yennefer was alright. I didn't really use him too much. And when I did, I didn't throw him into combat because I was scared to. I'm always scared to throw flyers into combat. Goodness. So yeah. He was decent though. Not bad at all. Don't have too much to say though. So yeah, I'll put him above Heather. I don't really have too much to say about him once again. He was just decent. He was good. His character's still alright. Basically the same from Path of Radiance. Not really too much to say. Yep. Right, Jill. I invested into Jill a fair bit, and I tried to get her up there. I think she had the potential to be near horror level. Unfortunately, she did not quite get there, because she was also one of the victims of the Swamp Massacre, alongside Aaron and Fiona. So I don't know. I still like her character. I still think she's neat. She was all right as a unit. I don't know. I didn't get to use her, I think, in the right ways. I don't know, but she was okay. She was all right. I think I'm willing to. I don't know if I'd put her too high, but Jill's gonna go up. Jill's gonna get in B for sure. Also, it's cool to see her design have changed the way it did, because before she was like very much so like, oh, this is a teenager, but like this, it's like this is a lady, this is a grown woman. Yeah, I think I'm willing to put her like. I think I'm willing to put her above. Oh, well. No, I'll put her below Yennefer. I'll put her below Yennefer. That's where we'll put her in like around mid B tier. This boyo. Okay. Kieran. Kieran was alright. Felt a little stronger in Radiant Dawn compared to Path of Radiance, I believe. He had his moments. It was cool to see his interactions with Oscar, and seeing that sort of like weird rivalry there that didn't really exist, but kinda did, mainly from Kieran's perspective. Yeah, so that was fun. I can't really say I'm gonna put him very high up. I don't want to put him into C. I can see him being in B though for sure. Maybe I'll put him below Donved just because. Alright, Krithnaga. Krithnaga. So, you know, he was the prince, dragon prince that helped us back in Path of Radiance. And you know, Radiant Dawn, we see him like very early on. I think in like chapter 2 or something. And he's like, "Oh, I'm a pilgrim." I'm like, "Oh, I'm just wandering or traveling or whatever." He was all right. He wasn't the strongest, but you you know, seeing him sort of interact with Degencia and Ina was very interesting. I like his design. I do like the colors used on him, but I don't have too much to say about him, unfortunately. I think I'm just gonna plop him in B somewhere. I'll put him... Yeah, it feels right to put him next to Ina. I'll put him next to Ina. Just because I like that. Oh boy. Okay. Now we're getting into characters who, like, didn't really get used too much. More characters like that, I suppose. Kaiza, I did not really use him. I think I began to use him a little bit, but he wasn't super... I don't know, he wasn't amazing. He was alright. Don't really have too much to say about him. His design's neat at the very least. I think his design is nice. He's going in C. I'll put him at the bottom, I guess. I don't know. There's not too much to say about him. Alright, Laura. I like Laura. I like Laura's design. It's, you know, so a lot of the priests in Fire Emblem games have a tendency to have, like, a wacky hair color or eye color or, like, you know, particular appearance. Laura's appearance is much more, I suppose, generic, but in a unique way. I like the hair color, I like the eye color, I like how it all sort of mixes together. It all works together very nicely. Her character's pretty neat. She's, you know, a pretty nice person, and her interactions with Aaron were nice. Unfortunately, she didn't get used too much either, as much as I tried to invest into her. She just didn't really have much going for her, unfortunately, but that's alright. I think I'm gonna put her in B. I don't imagine her going super high, though, unfortunately. As much as I do like my healers, I don't know if I could throw her up there. And I believe she was also a part of the Swamp Massacre, so, you know, she unfortunately has that going for her. I think putting her next to Ed. No. I'll put her next to Astrid. I'll put her next to Astrid. I'll put her behind Astrid. There we go. Okay. Leanne! Oh, I like Leanne. I like Leanne. She's wholesome. She's nice. She's sweet. Not, you know, the greatest, Bjork, tongue speaker, but she tries, and, you know, she's not a bad person, and I like her sort of deal. She's, like, very, like, gentle, and she's just, you know, a nice, caring person and all that. I like her design a lot as well. Yeah, I just like her. I like her overall. She's going pretty high for me. I'm so tempted to put her in S, but I shouldn't. She didn't really get too much use, in part because I was scared to use her, but also because there were other dancers who were just better, unfortunately. I don't feel good saying that, but it's kind of the truth. Definitely is going up high, though. I might put her above Ilyana. I think I'll put her above Ilyana. The design kind of carries her really high. The design and personality. So I said high really weirdly. Okay, Leonardo. I really wanted to use him. It just didn't really work out. He was a very big player in... I forget which chapter it was, but it was the chapter where Micaiah and Ike... You know, so you've got the area, like, pretty high up defending, like, on the far top of the map. And Micaiah and her group are up there. And then you've got Ike with all those Lagoos charging in and the other members of the Grail Mercenaries. And so them all rushing in. Leonardo provided a big amount of support, sort of blocking an entryway and doing whatever damage he could. He was so good, so useful in that instance. We had to sort of pump him like with XP and Master Seal and all that, but he did good. He did good when he came in there. He did really good, and even though he wasn't the best unit, he helped out enough that I think it definitely keeps him out of C, like 100%. I also like his design. I like the amount of like blonde-haired characters in this game. I don't know. I like pink, purple, and blonde. Those are kind of my biases, but you know, Leo's pretty cool. I'm willing to put him above some units just because of his. I think. You know what? I think I'm okay with that. I'll put him above Don Bed for now. Okay. Whew. Goodness, how many do we have left? Oh my gosh, we still have so many left. There are so many units in this game. Okay, alright. Alright, sorry. Leith. Oh, I really like Leith, but they gutted her in Radiant Dawn. They gutted her so bad. She was alright at first, and she just was not doing great later. She was able to dodge attacks, sure, but it wasn't as bulky, I believe, and she did like almost no damage to armored units, and that really held her back. While I still like her design and character, and I like her dynamic with Lyre as well as some of the other characters, I can't put her very high. I don't know if I could put her in A. I could put her in B for sure though. I think I'm still willing to put her like pretty high in B, but not as high as I would like. Like, I think I'll put her above Ina just because I like her, but she's, you know, she's struggling up there. Lucia. I don't have too much to say about Lucia. You know, she's in that trio of Valencia, Joffrey, and, you know, herself. She was pretty cool. Her role in Radiant Dawn was very interesting. Having her sort of be a, I don't want to say scapegoat, but having her be sort of a valuable member that was then taken by the opposing force, and you know, they were gonna kill her. They were using her as bait. Scapegoat was by no means the right word. I mean, hostage is a better term. Bait. They were using her as bait. The enemies were using her as bait and were going to hang her and kill her if Valencia didn't, you know, like give up essentially. And that's when Ike came in and just freed her, and you know, Ike and the Grail Mercenaries, they freed her and they saved her and all that, which is very cool. I like her design change. The short hair is pretty cool. I do miss the long. Well, do I miss the long hair? I don't know if I miss the long hair actually. Short hair is pretty nice on her. Yeah. She's pretty good as a unit. She was pretty good where she was like the main sort of person there. She was a sword master, so that was very nice. She also had good weapons and stats and stuff. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I like the colors as well. The whites and sort of teal, cyanish. Not teal. Yeah, it's cyan. The white and cyan and all that. It's very nice to look at. I think I'm willing to. You know what? Sure. I'll put her in the Joffrey Bastion. I'll put her between Joffrey and Bastion. There we go. All right. Up next is Lyre. I don't really have too much to say about Lyre. She existed. No. I mean, you had glimpses of her relationship with Leith. She really liked Leith, and she wanted to, you know, be there with her and all that. The design is all right. I'm not super crazy about it, though the colors are neat. Unfortunately, she's going with Kai'Sa at the bottom of C. It's unfortunate, because I feel like there could have been something more there, but there just wasn't. Akalov. Okay, so next is Marcia. look, you know why I'm putting Makalov in D. I try to avoid having D tiers in these lists if I can avoid it, but Makalov sort of belongs there. Kind of just sucks. He's not a good person necessarily. Like he's not a very great person. He just kind of sucks. As a unit, he was all right. He managed to dodge some insane like javelin throws, but still don't much care for him as a character. Now Marcia, Makalov's sister Marcia, great character. I really like her design in this game. It's so good. I used her a lot more. She was a lot stronger and definitely a bit more viable. And I tried bringing her into the sort of whole chapter 4 endgame thing. Ended poorly for her, but she was still really good. I think conceptually, I think she could have been great if she maybe had a little bit more time spent on her. But I did what I could, or I tried to do what I could rather. I tried to give her stuff, but you know, stuff happens. Yeah, her design and her character I like a lot. I like the words she uses. I don't know. I really like her personality and her speech and mannerisms, which I think push her into A. The design alone sort of pushes her really high up for me. And how she is, yeah. Like, overall character and design pushes her a lot higher than combat use, even though she could have been really good. I've heard that she can also be a near hard competitor. But yeah, no. She's neat though, but I really like her. So she's going up there. Into A. Alright. Meg. I don't have much to say about Meg. I thought she was neat. I didn't get to use her as much as I would have liked. She did unfortunately die in a way that was probably preventable. But, you know, that's alright. It happens. I don't really have too much to say about her, though. She was neat. I like her design. I actually do really like her design. I like the way that her mouth is. The little, like... How do I put it? Like the, like, cat grin or whatever. It's nice. I don't know where I'd put her. Oh, sorry. I think I would put her... Yeah, I think I'll put her below Donved, but above Kieran. Sure, I'm okay with that. Alright, Mia. I mean, just look at her. Her design, she matured a lot between Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn. I still like her character. I've heard people say she's bland. I've heard people say she's kind of whatever, but I just really like her. Her design is really, really, really good. The colors are very nice. The purple, green, and orange, all just magnifique. They work really well together. The headband's nice. And yeah, overall, I just really like her. And she was also a really good unit, real good swords master, and real good true blade. And overall, I have no complaints about her. I like her a fair bit. And hey, guess what? She's going into S tier. There you go. She's going into S tier, and I'm very determined on that. Here we go. Yep, she's going into S tier. No questions. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I like her a lot. All right, Micaiah. Ooh. So Micaiah is an interesting one. I really like her design. I like her character. I like all that stuff. I think what I didn't like was Micaiah, I think partway through the beginning, whenever Soth made mention of Ike, Micaiah would be like just done. Micaiah would just be over it. And I didn't really like that particularly. And while I understand it, it's because, you know, Micaiah wanted peace, and also Micaiah's from Dayan, and Ike sort of defeated Dayan, which... Yeah, there's some conflict there for, you know, obvious reasons. Micaiah's very much so patriotic, and it's just kind of rough. It's kind of rough to see her viewing Ike that way. It does eventually get better. Like, it never necessarily feels like her and Ike are like buddy-buddy. More so like these are just allies. They're not friends. These are allies. They're fighting with each other because they're in this situation. Like, it felt more so like that than anything. And I mean, because that kind of was the situation, just period. And it's unfortunate. I do wish they got along. And Ike doesn't even dislike her. Ike's just like whatever about her. But she doesn't really care too much for Ike. Yeah, I don't know. As a unit, she wasn't super great. She had her moments, but towards the end, she was kind of just a heal bot. But that was probably a good thing, because she and the work of a bunch of other units in this list helped carry that final fight against Ashura, which was such a pain. Oh gosh. Yeah, she made it more manageable. Overall, though, I like her. Once again, design is kind of carrying a fair bit here. Part of me wants to put her into S. I don't think she belongs there. I'm willing to put her into A. I think I'm gonna put her into A. I think, gosh, I don't know. I'm either putting her next to Ike or next to Black Knight, so either she's going at top of B or top of A. Is kind of what it's at right now. I think I'm gonna put her top of B. I don't know. Maybe before Ike, actually. So maybe not top of B. I mean, that feels more right. I don't know. The colors do kind of bring her up a bit. Though her and Ike do have pretty similar color palettes at the start. Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine with putting her at top of B, I think for now. Alright, Mist. Her character really didn't get explored too much more in this game. I didn't really use her, unfortunately. Yeah. I liked her a lot in Path of Radiance, but Radiant Dawn, she didn't get much. As much as I kind of wanted to use her. I'm still willing to put her into B, though, for sure. Just not super high. And below Khalil. I'll put her above Khalil for now. Yeah, above Khalil. Alright. Mordecai is next. Mordecai. Mordecai, what to say about Mordecai? I did like him a lot in Path of Radiance. Radiant Dawn, he was, you know, seemingly not as strong as he was before, but he was still very good. I did experiment with him a little bit, which didn't end very well, because it's like, okay, you know, the experiments, well, he didn't die or anything, but it's more like the experiments just didn't really work out how I would have liked. Like, I tried, like, what was it, Wild Heart with him, or something like that, where it's like, oh, you transform, but your stats don't get up as high, or something like that. He was alright. And Radiant Dawn, I'm still willing to put him, like, next to Leaf, I think. I think that's alright. Alright, Morim. Wait, hold on. Nah. There we go. Alright, Morim. Morim. He was cool. Once again, I don't know how to put it. I guess he just didn't feel as strong in Radiant Dawn sort of later on, because you got to use him a little bit early on, and then he was just gone until much later. Character isn't too much different, but I did think it was really interesting how they sort of... Alright. I do think it's interesting how they had a moment where he was sort of getting infected or cursed by that weird thing that I believe Izuku is doing. I think that was interesting. I liked his relationship with Tormod. You know, it's good. Good old, you know, not father son, but like guardian and little one. That was nice though. Design's still good. I still like his character, so he's definitely gonna go up a bit. Put him above Jill, sure. Why not? Alright. Nisela? Nisela. Was he a playable unit in this game? I think he was, right? Right? Yes, he was. Okay. I sort of had to check again. Nisela's alright. Kinda just a dude. No, Nisela was cool. His character is... oh, sorry. His character is, you know, him. He's definitely a little interesting. Goodness. You know, he had his reasons for treating, like, the herons and all that certain ways, but he did ultimately, like, not dislike them or want to go against them. He was just sort of under, you know, some kind of thing. I don't fully remember what it was. He was under something that was, like, making it complicated for him to do anything properly. So he was definitely a little tricky, but still a neat character. I don't know where I'd put him, though. I suppose I'm okay with putting him above Fiona. It's a bit of a weird place to put him, but I'll put him there, sure. Nyla. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I like Nyla a lot. Her design's great. Her character is kind of interesting. She's a pretty caring, like, wolf, I guess, queen is a way to put it, because she kind of is the wolf queen, but, you know, there are only 2 wolf lagoos, so there's not really too much to say there. Overall, very neat. I like her. I like her hair. I like her whole thing. I like her, like, eye patch. Her design overall is just great. She was really, really, really strong. I believe she was unfortunately a part of the Sephiron massacre. A few people here were. No complaints about her, though. Pretty good. Pretty good overall. Liked her character, liked her design. I like the colors especially. It's all great. And so that actually bumps her up really high. I think I'll put her next to Kynagus, actually. I'm totally willing to do that. Alright, Nasir, don't have too much to say about him in this game. Sort of just became Degencia's not right-hand man, but you know, close ally, I suppose. Him and Gareth were in sort of the same place. Him and Ina both helped out a lot in the final fight. Gives him a little bit of credit, for sure. I like his design, but I don't have too much to say about him. I'll put him above, I'll put him below Bastion, above Yennefer. I think that's fair. Nailucci, once again, not too much to say. I mean, he cared for Leanne. He was generally pretty nice. I didn't know what to think of him, but yeah, no, he was not a bad person, surprisingly. Yeah, he's just an old crow, or raven, I suppose. Yeah, he was neat. Can't imagine I put him very high, though. He's a tricky one. Tell you what, I'll put him above Klo. Sure, because he still came in handy. Nefene. I like Nefene a lot. Nefene is amazing. I like her design. I like her colors. I can tell you she's at the very least going at bottom of A tier. You know what? I might actually just put her right there. I like Nefene a lot. I really like Nefene and Braum. They're sort of close bonds and all that. They sort of boost each other up, and I really like that. And I like how she's this shy, like, country girl. I don't know. Something about that's really nice. Oh, gosh. Her interactions with Kalo back in Path of Radiance were very, because I don't believe I saw them in game, but I did learn about them. I like those, and yeah, I don't know. Overall, though, I just really like Nefene. I like her design. She was also an amazing unit, amazing dodge tank, and her and Braum having supports was great. Not supports, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, I guess it was supports, but, you know, not like support convos, but, you know, the support, like, bonuses. Worked out pretty well. They were a solid duo, solid team, solid pair. And yeah, and also her and Heather, once again, that boosts a little bit. I like it though. Yes, I like her. I like the placement there. I like it. All right, yeah, great. And whenever I have Nefene right there, that's not me saying Nefene is worse than Braum or Braum is better than Nefene. I think they're kind of equal. They lift each other up to that point, I think, is a way to put it. So yeah. Nolan, I don't have too much to say about. He was cool. Him and Z-Hark were paired up, and they did a lot of work. They did a lot of avoid tanking, or dodge tanking, I suppose. And they really helped out. Them and Leo, Nolan, Z-Hark, and Leo really helped carry that, that mission with all those Lagoos and Ike and the Grill mercenaries charging in. That mission, I was totally expecting to fail it, but I managed to get through it first try thanks to them, and I'm very, very much so appreciative of them for that. Yeah, I'm gonna put Nolan's at least going in B. He was really nice to have. I do not regret investing in him, like, at all. As a character, though, I don't have too much to say about him, unfortunately. I don't think I'm gonna be putting him very high. I'll put him with Leo, sure. I'll put him above Leo. He was good and all that. I just unfortunately don't really have too much to say. Alright. What do I say? What do I say about Oliver? I mean, look at him. He's he's quite the guy. No, he kind of sucked back in Path of Radiance, kind of sucked in Radiant Dawn, but I guess, well, he didn't really show up. He was just kind of lurking. And then you find him, and he's like, you know, on the enemy side. And then you just bring Rafiel up close, and he's like, oh, Pog! Oh my gosh, there's a bird person? Sick. I'm joining you. I'm gonna protect you. And it's just like, okay. It's like a free healer and light magic user. Sounds funny. Unfortunately, I don't have much to say about him. I don't know if I could put him in C. Put him at bottom of B. I do kind of like his design, but he's going at bottom of B. That was Oliver. Oscar. I like Oscar's design. I like his character a bit. He was pretty good. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to compete as well with other units, which that's really unfortunate, but it is what it is. He still did good, so I'm probably just gonna put him up in, I don't know, part of me wants to put him in A, but I think I'm just gonna put him in B. Gosh, there's so many characters. It's getting messy. This is a very long list. I think I would put Oscar, let's see, I don't know. He's definitely going a little higher, just because he did help out a fair bit. Him and Titania were a pretty good team. That feels alright. I'll put him above Yanef. He was good. He was a good unit. I have no complaints about him, really. he was neat. Alright, Reveal. His interactions with Oliver were really funny. Yeah. I don't know. He's, you know, another gentle soul. He's cool. Seeing, you know, his interactions with the other herons was nice. But I don't have much to say about him. He was a really, really strong dancer just because of his, like, always being able to dance, I believe, 4 people. Which was ridiculous. Super good. So, yeah, he was great. Can't really put him very high, though. You know what? No. I kind of want to put him with Oliver. No, I'm willing to put him higher. Not too much, though. I'll put him below Meg, just because I don't have too much to say. Well, maybe above Meg. Alright, I'll put him above Meg. He was useful when he was around, but I just don't have much to say about him. Okay. Ranulph, cool character. He was a pretty cool cat. He took up a lot more of an active role in, like, Ike's parts in Radiant Dawn. Path of Radiance, you know, he was pretty cool. He was a homie. He was helping out a lot. He was doing great. Radiant Dawn, he was also doing great. He was helping out Ike. He was helping out the Beast Folk, or Lagoos rather. Sorry, the you know, feline Lagoos, and you know, he was being great. It was cool. Yeah, I don't have too much to say. Personality's neat though. Yeah. Ranulph, buddy. He's going in B for sure. I don't imagine where though. I can't imagine where though. There we go. Probably like with Leith, I think. I realize I can't see that. Here we go. I think with Leith is fair enough. I'll put him there with the others. Yeah, they're alright. Not bad. Not bad at all. Ranulph was actually pretty good, but I don't know. Once again, not too much to say. Alright, Renning. I don't know if I used Renning. I had him. I don't know if I used him. But if I recall, he was Bertram, right? Of the 4 knights or horsemen or whatever. So that was pretty cool. So taking that into account, he's neat. But that also wasn't like him. I don't know. I also don't have much to say about him. I think I'm just gonna put him in C because of that. I think he goes below Gareth. You know, his design's neat and all, but I just don't have much to say about him. Once again, there's not much. Alright, Rayson. Rayson's neat. He definitely got better in terms of the being like all fully like anti-human or anti-Bjork rather. But I don't know. He was a decent dancer. Like weaker reveal, but he did have an additional Galder, which I forget what it did, but I think it like boosted biorhythm or something like that. I think he had that. It was neat though. He was neat though. He helped out a bit, but I don't have too much to say about him. His character's interesting. I like his interactions with Leanne and Raphael. The Heron interactions are nice. But I don't see myself putting him super duper crazy high. I'll put him below Mist. Sure, why not? I'll put him below Mist, and I think I'm okay with that. Reese. Reese died immediately. He died, I think he died on that first chapter with Ike, which was unfortunate, but it kind of just is what it is. But no, he did okay. I kind of wish I could have used him more, but it kind of just is what it is. I still like his design. His character's still neat. Goodness. His interactions with Mia back in Path of Radiance were fun, but unfortunately didn't really see too much more of that. I don't know. The design kind of carries him up a bit, though. Can't put him very high. I'll put him below Kieran. Above Boyd, below Kieran. Rolf, I didn't really use Rolf. He was just, once again, he was just kind of there. I think I wanted to, and in parts, and in ways I tried to. But, yeah, he didn't really go anywhere. He was alright, though. Design's okay. I wish him and Mist got more time to speak to each other, because I felt like that could have been interesting, seeing how they grew up and sort of treat each other. So, you know, because they're both kids that like grew up with the Grail mercenaries, so like seeing how that would have, you know, how them growing up together would have, you know, made them act towards each other and all that would have been interesting. But I don't know. There was a lot that I wish could have happened in Radiant Dawn, but that didn't. In any case, he's not going very high. Yeah, I'm okay with putting him at bottom of B. Sonic Key. Oh boy. I like Sonic Key's design a lot. Purple hair, you know, bias, blah blah blah. I do like the varying colors. It's very, very pleasant actually. The like sort of amberish color of her eyes, the purple, the red, all of it works together really well. And yeah, in terms of character, it was interesting to see her sort of grown up a little bit and taking on that role of apostle and all that, and her being directly involved with some conflicts and eventually becoming a player character, or playable character rather, which is very unexpected. But it was very cool though that she was playable. Yeah, no, she helped out in the final battle against Ashura. Unfortunately, she was sniped because of how Ashura decided to deal with things, but that's okay. It is what it is. Yeah, overall, I like Sonic. She's pretty cool. I don't quite think I would put her in A, but I could see her in B. Probably up a bit, actually. I think she certainly stands above some others. Because she was also, I think she might have, no, she wasn't the latest game mage, I don't think. But she was very late game. But she was good. I think I'm willing to put her above Joffrey. Alright, Shinon, real good unit. Give him a crossbow and all that. Yeah, no, he was able to dodge or take hits or whatever you needed him to do. He was fantastic. No complaints about him really, except his character. He's racist. He's like so racist. Gosh. Yeah, I don't really have too much to say about him. I mean, he's alright. He is the CEO of racism. He did, in fact, make it to, I think, 3rd place at the end of Radiant Dawn, which was crazy, but I suppose it makes sense. Because I did use him a lot. But yeah, I don't really have too much to say about him. He was a good unit, though. His design's alright. I don't see myself putting him super duper high, but he's going above some others for sure. You know what? I think I might be okay with that. I think I might be okay with that. Below Nisela, above Fiona. Alright. Sigrun was alright. Her and Tanith sort of came in together at a time that was like, I think I needed them, but it was neat to have them nonetheless. I like her design. I did hope that she would be playable back in Path of Radiance, but it's cool that she was eventually playable in this game. I liked that. I'm a big fan of the colors, the white, the gold, the sort of tealish, sort of greenish. I like that. Very cool, very nice. Personality, she's pretty neat. Nothing like ridiculously crazy, but you know, she's nice. She's nice. So put her up in like B, definitely B. I don't know where to put her though. You know, I'll put her below Racing. Okay. Skirmir. That guy, line guy. Also, we're on the last line. Oh. Alright, Skirmir was pretty neat. He was like the hot-headed rash person. Who's like, you know, the heir to the Beast Kingdom and whatnot. I don't know. He was neat. He was very powerful. And his role in the story was kind of cool to see in his interactions with like Ranulf and all the others, and his surprising amount of respect for Soren, which was very interesting to see. Yeah, overall, pretty neat. He's going in B somewhere. Oh my gosh, B almost has... Oh, B has so many people in it. I think I'll put him like... I don't see him going like super duper high, but I could see him going up quite a bit. Issue is, I think he's better than some characters, worse than others. But they're all sort of mixed around a bit, so it's not a good place. I'll put him above Sigrun. Well, I'll put him below Sigrun. I'll put him below Sigrun for now. Yeah. Okay. Soren. I didn't really use Soren in this game, but it was interesting seeing his interactions with, you know, Ike and the other people. His interactions with Skirmir were interesting. Skirmir, however you say his name. Overall though, yeah, I still like his design a lot. I still think he's cool. I still think he's neat. No complaints. He's going in B. Probably decently high. I didn't really use him much, but I still like him. I can see him below Oscar. Below Yenna? Below Oscar. I'll put him below Oscar. Alright. Oh my gosh. You can't even see S at this rank. This rank at this rate. Hold on. There you go. Oh, wow. Jeez, it's so many characters. Alright. Soth. Finally, we're getting on to Soth. I don't have too much to say about Soth. He's a dude. No, goodness, I keep on doing that. Soth is neat. The glow up from Path of Radiance to Radiant Dawn is insane. His design's for sure neat. His introduction was very strong, very well done. Sort of showing him as the defender of Micaiah and sort of her sort of closest ally and like right-hand man. It was very cool. Very nice, very neat. His personality was nice. I do like that he didn't always agree with Micaiah. It wasn't like a blind, like, oh, we're best friends. It was a, like, Micaiah doesn't like whenever he mentions Ike, but he really looks up to Ike. And so, you know, it's like this weird, like, clash that they have that, though it doesn't result in anything, like, extreme, just having that happen at all was nice, because it's nice to see that they don't agree on everything. I think I would put him pretty high up. I don't know how high. Because he was an amazing unit when he got introduced. but he did, by late game, sort of fall off a bit. That kind of feels good. I think putting him like, I think putting him below Nasla is fine. Alright, Stefan. I didn't really use Stefan, but it was kind of funny seeing him. Apparently Stefan's interacted with some of the other characters in certain ways, and that's interesting. He's a branded, which is cool to see. There are also some other branded characters I didn't note on being branded throughout this list, but that's alright. Stefan was very cool. He was a true blade. He was pretty strong, but at that point I'd already sort of dedicated myself to Mia, so I didn't really need him, but he was nice to have along, I guess. For like the one chapter I used him. His design's neat though. I don't really have any complaints about him, but I don't have too much to say about him either. I could see him going like, I can see him maybe going like below Raphael, above Meg. Sure. Right. Tanith. So, Tanith, you know, military lady, she is, I don't know if a leader's probably not the right term, but she is, you know, a high-ranking sort of member of that like Pegasus-based military. Very cool. She was unfortunately a lot worse in Radiant Dawn because she no longer had her ability to call in reinforcements, which is what made her so insane in Path of Radiance. She was still a good unit, but not nearly as good as she used to be. Nothing to really say about her, but I don't see her going super high. I'll put her below Nolan. I think that's, sure, that's fine. Alright. Torneo, great unit. Just great unit all around. There were times where he might have, you know, struggled a teensy bit, but those times didn't really happen very often. He was mainly just tanking and being a monster. So yeah, he was good. Don't have too much to say about his character. It was interesting seeing him, like, his relationship with Peleus and all that, and also him, Jill, and Xeric working together the way that they did. He's a very nice dude. He's very, like, you know, knightly and all that. He's a very knightly dude. It's nice. I don't know how high I would place him. I don't know if I'd place him very high. He did help out a fair bit, but I don't know. I think I'm willing to put him above Rayson, sure. Alright, Tiburn. I really like Tiburn. His design's great, his character's neat, and he is ridiculously powerful. The only... well, let's see, he came in handy a lot. He did, unfortunately, die at some point, but that was okay. Keep in mind, a lot of units here died during my playthrough. But yeah, overall, no complaints. He was great, as he was before. Are tempted to put him into A. Hold on, let me, if I can. Oh goodness. I'm tempted to put him into A, but I think I'll put him below Ike. I'll put him below Ike, which barely see because of how long the list is. Okay. Oh gosh. Well, we're almost done here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more units to go. We're only doing the playable characters. So, Titania, she was, I don't think she was as good as she was in Path of Radiance at first. Then she eventually got a fair bit stronger. She was able to tank a bit. She was able to deal a ton of damage. And Soul was really good to have on her. That was so good. Overall, great unit. No real complaints. Her character isn't much different. It's still very nice. Her design is still great. Overall, great. Good character. Good character. She's going into B for sure. I think she's probably... I think she can go with Oscar. I think she can go above Oscar. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fine. Alright. Next is Tormod. I actually used Tormod in this, and he was good. He was good until he died. I think he died. I don't fully... No, he did. He did die. Yes. He died. Tormod was neat, though. He was a decent enough mage. When he came in, he was great, because he was, like, higher level than some of the others. You know, fantastic, right? But then they kept him out for a long time, and then when he eventually came back, he was not as good. But he helped out a bit still. I don't see myself putting him very high. Definitely in B. You know, I kind of like seeing him with Morim, so I might just put him there. I'll put him with Morim. I'll put him below Morim. Sure. Ulki. Yeah, Ulki didn't really have much different about him in this game. Basically just the same character. So, nothing much to say. I mean, he's going in B, but I don't know. Put him below Yennefer. Sure. Alright, Vika. Oh man, I like Vika's design. I like the name. I like her vibe. I wish she was stronger. I wish I could have used her more. They don't let you use her for a super long time. I wish I could have had her for a longer period of time. I feel like she could have been a lot better. But she unfortunately wasn't. She was still neat though. I still like her. Still putting her in B for sure. Once again, there's not much to say about her just because there's not really too much up to her character that I could really detail, because I didn't really see too much. But her, Tormod, and Morim were all, you know, grouped up and all that. I don't know if I can put her very high, though. I don't know. I think I'll put her below Neolucci. I think I'll do that. Alright. 3 left. Okay. Okay. So, we have the fireman himself, Volk. Volk was neat. Volk was great, actually. Strong, you know, good AVO and all that. He was able to dish out a fair bit of damage. I just didn't really use him, but good unit overall. His character is not too much different. It's still, you know, good old fireman. He's still cool. Yeah. Going in B. I'm gonna think of where I would put him. Kinda want to put him above Soth, but put him below. I'll put him below Shinon. Sure. Got 2 left. Volug. I liked Volug a lot. He didn't really say much that you could understand, but I think design-wise he was neat. He was one of the, like, 2 Wolf Beast Lagoos, or Wolf Lagoos. I'll just say Wolf Lagoos. He's one of the 2 Wolf Lagoos next to Nyla, and he was just cool. He died in a very unfortunate way that could have been easily avoided, but stuff happens. Yeah, so overall, he's cool. I'm gonna put him in B. Like his design and all that. Also Volug, very interesting name. I don't see myself putting him super duper high, but he'd help out a bit. He was a great asset to the Dawn Brigade, I will say. Fantastic. I kind of want to put him pretty high. Nah. I think I'll put him above Rayson. Alright, and then we got the last one. Z-Hark. Yeah, he was good. Him and Nolan were paired together, and they were, like, insane dodge tanks. They both did a fair bit of damage. he was critting like crazy. He was popping off like crazy. He was doing amazing. I don't think I could put him into A, but he's definitely going like up a bit in B. Part of me wants to put him like next to Nolan, but I don't know. I think because he was really good. I think that's undeniable. His design's also interesting. Not interesting. It's neat. Interesting is not the word I would use for it. I don't know. I think I'll put him. Actually, yeah, he kind of just ends up next to Nolan. I'll put him right there. Yep. Him and Nolan are kind of on equal ground here, but not much else to say. But that is all for the main ranking part. So I'll look around, reorganize stuff, see if I can make it a lot more like fit on the screen. So yeah, I'll be back in like, you know, a little bit. Okay, so I did a bit of rearranging, and you'll notice that there are a lot more people in S and A, and some smaller things were shifted around. I didn't shift around too much. I only shifted around a few things because, you know, there are some that I was like, you know, I couldn't really decide on if I wanted them higher or not. But yeah, I think in general I'm kind of happy with this. So sort of scroll through real quick just to show off. S tier, we have these 5, I think is fitting. A tier, we have these guys, which part of me, I was considering splitting it into like an A+ as well. But I don't quite know if I would do that, because I think them being an A alone is enough to just show how much I really like them. You can see B+ here. Definitely trimmed down a bit on the Bs. You can see in B, you know, got those guys. I think Shinon was sort of the cutoff point, I think, for me. I considered putting him up, and then I looked at it and I was like, well, I don't know if I could put Shinon in B+. I think Shinon was the because I put him next to Soth in B+, and it just didn't feel right. It didn't look right. So I put him down, and so they're just in B. And so from Shinon all the way to Rolf. And I did move Oliver up a bit because I felt like I slighted him. Yeah. And then we have C, which was split into C plus C. Yep, I'm fairly happy with that. And then D with Makalov. Yeah, so gosh, it's a lot. There were so many characters. Let's do a quick count. Okay, so that's 5, that's 11. Oh my gosh. Let's see. So 5, 11, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 20. Wait, so that's 11, 22, 33, 44, 55. Okay, 58. 58 plus 6 is 64. Oh my gosh, 67, 70, 71! That's like 71 characters. Also, I didn't use Peleus or Sephiron because I haven't done a second playthrough. So, I haven't done a proper second playthrough on that same thing. So yeah, so not on this list, fortunately. Gosh, but yeah, overall, I'm fairly happy with this. There may be some changes I would make, but I think in general I'm kind of happy with where everything is. Yeah. Just move this back up a bit. There we go. So yeah, I think that's it. Oh gosh, this was a long one, so like an hour longer than the Path of Radiance one. There were that many more characters. Okay, but yeah, so I think that's where we're gonna call it. So thank you, party people. Thank you so much for watching, for tuning in. I appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. Bye bye. Au revoir. Aloha. Ciao. Arrivederci. Sayonara. Auf Wiedersehen. Aloha. Adios. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Buenas noches. Buenas tardes. Buenos días. Buongiorno. Buonasera. Uh, goodbye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.